How you doing, everybody? This is Southern Copper Chronicles. I'm Aaron, and today we're going to do the third episode of Distilling 101, and it's going to be a continuation of the last episode. It's going to be equipment. So last episode I talked about, the equipment you need to make to distill a product, right? You got to have a heat source, you got to have a pot, and you got to have a condenser. That stuff's not too hard. So you guys watch that. Maybe you're building your own. You have one order from somewhere, or you already have one at your house. Today I'm going to go into the hardware, specifically the hardware you need to make something to put into that pot to distill. There's not a whole lot you need for a very basic fermentation or to make some kind of fermented wash or mash, a wine, a beer. There's not that much equipment that's needed. So this won't be a really long video just to show you the hardware you need. But this is some stuff you're going to have in order to do it. So one of the first things you're going to have is you're going to have some kind of cooking pot. It's a big 50-gallon stainless, or not stainless, this is aluminum. Now you can use aluminum for mashing in, right? I don't recommend it for distilling, but for mashing in, I think I picked this one up for, I think it was like $70 or something, 50 gallons. I can cook all my grains, I can cook, boil my water, my sugar, all in this for my cooking pot. The next thing you're going to need, and this is pretty important, a lot of people will argue with me about this. Some people say simple is easier. I keep things as simple as possible. But this is a triple scale hydrometer. What this is going to do is it's going to tell you how much sugar and potential alcohol that you have in the wash or the mash you're making. I don't recommend anyone that's new distilling to not use one of these, and I recommend anyone that's been doing it for a long time without one of these to get one. It's just going to make your product that much better, and it's going to keep you from wasting money because you're going to know exactly how much sugar you're starting with and what you're starting with. Makes it easier to troubleshoot a stalled mash or a wash. I'm going into videos, more extensive videos on those here soon, but get one of these. This is one I bought off Amazon, the whole kit with a tube and everything. I think this thing was like $15. Probably one of the best $15 you'll ever spend if you want to get into the hobby of distilling. Next thing you're going to need is some kind of fermentation vessel. This is very relative to the size of your pot. If you have a 10-gallon pot, a couple of 5-gallon buckets will work. I do recommend getting food grade buckets just because it's going to keep the plastic from breaking down. Maybe not a huge deal, but I like going in and getting something that says food grade so you don't have to worry about it. If you've got, say, a 20-gallon still, 50-gallon still, you can get the plastic food grade barrels. Go on Facebook, Mark, you can find them. Find ones that had sugar in it. Whatever you do, don't get any food grade barrels that had any kind of vinegar product. I found them and I've tried to use them before, and it'll mess you up. If they've had vinegar or anything really acidic, sometimes the barrels will still hold that flavor, even though there's food grade flavor, and it'll put a pretty nasty flavor in there. Next thing, going back to the barrels, when you're fermenting, you want to make sure you don't have to have it, but it makes things easier if you have a lid. Alright, so this one, just for example, this is one I got at a feed store. I know this had sugar in it. $25.99. Still has my little price tag on it. It had on the label, I got it from a local feed store. It's going to work great to, just put on, keep bugs and everything out. So I paid a little bit more for that. You can get them a lot cheaper from on Facebook Marketing channel at a local feed store. Time's money, so if you need to, hey, check out Tractor Supply, your local feed and seed. You can find some of those containers, 20, 30 bucks up to 50 gallon, for $30, $40 all day long. Very easy. One of the things you will need, you can make it out of wood. Check out a local restaurant supply. I got this big aluminum pot and my stainless steel paddle for stirring everything. I think this was like $10. Yeah, you can get one out of wood, make one out of wood, whatever. Don't recommend wood really for stirring your sugars and your mashes because it's porous and it can hold bacteria and stuff in it. Your stainless steel ones, no issues, cleans off real easy. The only thing you're going to need for doing your first grain or doing your first wash, and the one we're going to do during the 101 series, it's not going to be all grain. It's going to be a recipe I have that's corn, rolled oats, and sugar. Comes out extremely well. You don't have to do any conversion or anything. You still have to heat up your water to soak your grains in it. Heat up your water to melt your sugar. You can do that on your stovetop, or you can get just like a simple turkey fryer. I showed this on the last video. And obviously this one's old, one I've used quite a bit. Still works all right. You can get one of those at Tractor Supply or Walmart, to put this big pot on. Pretty easy for $50, $75. That's all you need. That's it. That's all you're going to need to make your first fermented, wash, your mash. That's it. You're going to need a fermentation vessel. You're going to need your pot to cook it in. Heat the water up. You're going to need a heat source, turkey fryer, your stovetop, and I will say you're going to need a specific gravity hydrometer. It's as simple as that. Next video I'm going to start going into making the mash. And we're going to do videos on specific gravity hydrometers. We're going to step by step through this entire process. So by the time I'm done with this series, you're just going to be able to watch this series and you're going to be able to go and make a good mash. The oat, corn, and sugar mash. And if you run it correctly, it's going to come out. It's going to be something drinkable, something you're going to enjoy. I really appreciate y'all tuning in to my video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That's what helps give me the money to, get stuff to make more videos. I have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Everything from builds all the way to, going more into all grain mashes, rums, anything you can think of. And please, if you have an idea that you want me to do a video from, by all means, just drop me a note here or send me a note on the Copper Chronicles Facebook page or Electric Spirits Distillation Controllers Facebook page, and hit me up and let me know, hey, Aaron, will you do a video on this? Will you do a video on that? Hey, I'll do it. It might take me a couple weeks to get to it, but I can answer any questions that y'all have. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it.